Welcome back and good morning once again. Today is June 1st, the beginning of a very hot summer here in Egypt. And of course, for women and men, but women especially, we are very worried about our hair and skin in the hot summer winds and temperatures that we experience here in Egypt. We do need to take extra care, especially, for example, if we're going to the beach, we're going to the water, we need to take care of our hair and of our skin as well so that we can avoid the sunburns and whatnot. So today we're going to be talking with Dr. Mounir وليم, who is a professor of plastic surgery. He's going to give us some very, very enriching and important tips on how we can take care of our hair and skin in this weather. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
Nice, thank you.
Good morning, Dr. William. First of all, it's the hair, not hair loss, but the hair problems,
Yes.
just in summer. So, does hair really suffer in summer and the hot weather, and do we have to have a special routine for our hair?
Yes, let's speak about the hair. At first, total number of hair follicles all over the body is about 5 million. From this, in the head, there is only 1 million. In the scalp, there is 100,000 hair follicles. So, our problem lies in this 100,000 hair follicles. At first, hair grows in 3 stages or 3 phases. Phase number 1 is what is known as anaging, in which hair grows. While certain rate may differ from hair of the scalp to hair of the axilla to hair of any other part of the body, it may grow maybe by 2 millimeter per week. Second stage is hair comes to certain age and then it falls. It is cataging. And in which cataging you find there is falling of hair. A third phase, which is very important, is what is known as telogen. This telogen is very important because it comes between hair growth and hair falling. And it forms about 5 to 10% of total number of hair all over the body. So this telogen is important because it takes about 3 months or 100 days, and it forms about from 5 to 10%. Why it is important? Because if we multiply by certain equation total number in the scalp, which is 100,000, by 5 to 10% and divided by 100 days, we find that the normal hair loss daily is from 50 to 100 hair follicles per day. This is important. Why? To start with, hair loss, it is over the number of 100 per day. So there is normal hair falling, in which hair falls and another hair grows on, and so on, it grows out.
For example, in the summer, especially here in Egypt, the weather is very humid, and for people, especially people with oily hair, their hair might get extra oily because of the weather and the sweat and the heat, or people who have dry hair. What's the safe number of washing in terms of weekly? Should we wash our hair every day? Is it safe to wash our hair every other day, for example? How often should we wash our hair? And what kind of products should we use for our hair so that we could avoid the dangers of humidity and the effects of the heat on our hair?
As you said, there are different types of hair.
Right.
So there is oily hair, in which it is very important to be washed at least twice per week, or maybe every
twice
other
per
day.
week, not per
twice per week, or every other day.
Okay.
So with maximum 3 times a week. This is the oily hair. And also the time of shampoo we have to use, there must be something which is oil, which is acidic, such as vinegar shampoos or lemon shampoos and so on, in order to get rid of these oils. The other type of hair is dry hair, and it has to be washed every 5 days. Maybe twice per week, not more. And also we have to use certain types of shampoo which contains oils. The third type of hair, what is known as tough hair. This tough hair can be washed daily because it is difficult to be washed, and it has to contain certain materials in order to let it go up. So every type of hair has its own factors and has its own shampoo and its own time of washing.
But are there natural ingredients, for example, oils or special recipes we could use for our hair to kind of reinvigorate it and keep it healthy in the summer?
Yes, in certain types of hair, not for all types of hair, but in certain types of hair, in tough hair and in dry hair, it is very important to use oily creams, oily materials, but we can use creams for oily hairs. and so on. You have to differentiate between certain types of lotions for certain types of hair, certain types of creams, certain types of oils. Even the shampoo itself you are going to use, is it with the conditioner or without conditioner? Certain types of hair, such as dry hair, it is better not to use conditioner. In tough hair, it is better not to use conditioner, and so on. So you have to know your type of hair, and also how many times to wash, which type of material to use, and so on. This is very important to deal with in summer, of course.
Well, like hair, also skin is affected by the weather and the hot weather and the sun and everything, and there are many difficulties or challenges that might meet the hot weather and can be associated with the environment according to if it's hot or if it's summer and in different seasons. Sometimes the skin get pigmentations or get some spots if you use perfume and you get out in the sun, or if you're sleeping in a very damp place. So what are the reasons for this? What are the reasons for these dark spots, and how can you get rid of it, and why does it happen?
Here we come to an important classification. We divide the skin into 6 types. According to what? According to if the skin to be burned by exposure to sun or not, if there is burns or not, and number 2, if there is pigmentation or hyperpigmentation or not. We divide the skin into 6 types. Type 1 is very sensitive, in which we find it is light skin. For example, those persons who are with red hair, they are very sensitive. If they are exposed for very long period to sun, they are not pigmented, but they get burns once they are exposed to the sun. Type 2 of the skin, there is also, it is very sensitive, such as persons with with white skin, and they are with yellow eyes, and these persons have very sensitive skin, and if they are exposed to the sun, they get both burns and pigmentation.
You mean blondes?
Type 3 and type 4 as us, which are feeling to be some clothes not white and not black. This type of skin, it is a natural skin, and if exposure to the sun, they are pigmented after long period, and they are burned after long period. Type 5 and type 6, they are not sensitive as black skinned and Negroes. Here we are speaking about the type of the skin. Of course, you are asking about if this skin becomes burned or not, and if this skin becomes pigmented or not. We are lucky because our skin becomes not burned by exposure to the sun, but we are unlucky because we are pigmented for long exposure to the sun. Third, of course, this to get rid with, it is better to put some types of sunscreens which are with SPF less than 10. It's not better, it's not good to take sunscreens with SPF more than 50 or 60 and so on. It's better to be to get some materials which prevent exposure to the sun. Number 2, we have to take certain types of nutrients and food which contain vitamin C. Vitamin C is very important for burning and protecting the skin against burns and against hyperpigmentation. So it's better during this summertime to take all types of fruits which contain vitamin C, because vitamin C is important for us to help in protecting our skin from getting hyperpigmented and from getting to being burned. Also, we have to put certain types of creams and certain types of oils according to the time, to the exposure, along with a period of the exposure. If you are going to be exposed to the sun, or going to swimming pools, or going to beaches and so on, of course you have to choose the time. It's better before 9 o'clock in the morning or after 4 p.m. So this time is very important because the ultraviolet which is present in the sun is very highly effective to the Egyptian skin, may lead to hyperpigmentation or may lead to certain types of burns and so on.
What if we do go in the water during that time? Is there some type of cream or SPF, higher SPF, could it prevent burning?
Yes, you have to put SPF with lower number. It's not with higher number. You see, there is something which is felt to be zinc. You have to put, yes, you have to put SPF with smaller number. What is the number SPF? This means once you see SPF is 5. This means that if you are exposed to the sun and your skin is burned after 2 hours, If you put SPF 5, your skin will be burned after 10 hours, 5 times 2. So if you are putting SPF is 50, you have to be exposed to the sun for 100 hours to be burned. So it's better to put SPF as low as you can. Yes, this is an important fact.
It's a common understanding that
is
the
a
higher the
common
number, the safer you are.
This is a common misunderstanding. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Well, going back to hair again, the hair loss. How can I deal with hair loss in summer, and what type of behavior should I behave with my hair? I mean, should I blow dry it? Should I be able to expose it to excessive heat? I mean, as long as I'm using conditioners, or what should I do?
We have to explain at first there is normal and natural hair loss, which as I have said in the beginning, it is from 50 to 100 hair loss per day. There are also many causes for hair loss. You will find there is hair loss with destruction of the hair follicle, and there is hair loss without destruction of hair follicle. Hair loss without the destruction of hair follicle, there is a cause, there is a hidden cause. Sometimes there is hair loss due to disturbance in the endocrine function. For example, there is hyperfunction thyroid or hyperfunction pituitary, or taking contraceptive pills and so on. There may be hair loss due to taking some chemotherapeutics, as in tumors. Sometimes we find hair loss as in disturbance in liver functions, or sometimes we find hair loss due to certain loss of hair, what is known as alopecia teres, and so on. All these types of hair loss, there is a reason which is treated, and hair regains its health again and returns normal without loss. But there is another group of hair loss in which there is destruction of the hair follicle. And as once we give any treatment, no improvement. And here, such as hair loss due to burns, hair loss due to tumors, hair loss due to certain types of disease such as tuberculosis, hair loss due to
powerful dyes.
Of course, certain types may make burns, and here hair loss due to burns which are coming from certain abnormal types of chemicals such as dyes and so on. Here we find there is complete and permanent loss of hair.
So in that case,
there is a rule of plastic surgery, whether in plastic operations in the form of punches operations, or rotation operations, or tissue expanders, or biofibers and so on. Here there is a rule of plastic surgery. But dealing with hair is what is very important. Dealing with hair at first is from our eating, our nutrition. There must contain, vegetables contain vitamin A, which is the cement of the hair itself. Vitamin A is present on all types of vegetables. And once we find the vegetable is more green or more orange or more red, we find the ratio of beta carotenes, which is the precursor of vitamin A, is very high. And this helps in the formation of more hair. So our nutrients in vegetables, also in fruits. Fruits contain vitamin C. And vitamin C is very important for the nutrition of the hair itself. It enters in the blood supply, which is nutrient to the hair itself. So our nutrition is very important. Times of washing our hair is very important. The type of shampoo we use, whether to use shampoo or not, whether to use conditioner or not, all these types together, to use creams, to use certain types of oils, or to use dyes or not, which type of dye, whether it contains ammonia or contains oxygen or not, and so on and so on. All these together makes us know what about the health of your hair. So the hair is very important. We have to deal with the hair as if we are dealing with our babies. Once you respect your hair will respect you. And this is very important. Yes.
Good nutrition, vitamin C, and lots of water.
And yes, dealing with health with our hair.
Dr. Mounir Williams, Professor of Plastic Surgery, thank you so much for this conversation, and definitely we're going to have you on the show again to give us more tips on how to deal in the summer. Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess this is where we end this edition of The Breakfast Show. Many thanks to you, Noor.
Thank you, It's always a pleasure.
It's really nice. And please don't forget to join us for more of The Breakfast Show tomorrow morning with another new crew. Until then, let's goodbye.